everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Annette Dion. I'm trying to light some Palo Santo. It's kind of like sage. It sort of cleanses the energy. Palo Santo. Anyway, how are you doing? It's Monday. We are just coming off a barreling full moon in Aquarius. I don't remember if I mentioned that this full moon in Aquarius was right on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. So it was a little bit of both. But with that Aquarian energy, the interesting thing is next full moon is also a full moon in Aquarius. Any of you that know a little bit about astrology probably know that Aquarius is not a peaceful sign, even though the dawning of the age of Aquarius and all that is all love and peace, but it's after the disruption that comes. I think the Hindu equivalent is Shiva, the god of destruction. And people literally in India, Hindus pray to Shiva to destroy everything so that they can know the truth. And the truth will set them free. That's from Christianity, but anyway, I'm all waxing all religion right now. I hope you had an awesome weekend, and I hope you got to catch my 1 minute drawing down the moon at the beach. Was that Friday? That was Friday. That was after I told you all to go check out the full moon if you could, if you didn't have overcast skies. So some real power there. Real power, really. You know, if you live in a beautiful place, just take a moment and give thanks. I do. All right, so we have a lot of questions, and several of you have asked questions, and thank you for that. As you know, I'm a brand new channel. This is my third attempt to really get things rolling, and consistency is the key. I welcome any assistance with getting the word out about the Psychic News Network, which I started last year, early in the year, last year, 2020, and to sort of help people to, you know, kind of navigate all the craziness that was going on and still is going on. However, it is different, a lot different this year than last. Last year was like, I heard somebody put it this way, that it was a viewpoint of somebody in Europe who said, we're watching what's going on in America. This was last year. And we're just waiting for it's like there's a car careening out of control at a high speed, getting ready to crash. And that is certainly what it felt like. So in regards to that, I just want you to know, I've done a lot of reflecting on what was going on with 45, that he took so many risks and committed so many crimes, and what I get about that. And we'll see it, and it's going to be disturbing. It already is disturbing. If you're a psychic, it was disturbing the whole time, and in a way it's a little less disturbing now because at least he's not in office. So when I tuned in to what was all going on there with in his mind, was I really picked up that he was so programmed by his father, 45, the former guy in the White House, was so programmed by his father that he always needed to be a winner, that I don't think he ever really contemplated being in a position of not winning. So with all this planning the coup, from my perspective, it was a coup, it was a war. It was a battle to destroy our democratic process of certifying an election. So it was a coup. And the only reason really he went ahead with it was because he had no concept in his mind of it not working. And he thought he had covered all his bases in terms of making it work. And if you were with me on Friday, you can go back and watch that video. I think it was on Friday I mentioned that I saw 7 GOP Republicans that were part of it. You're going to see all this news come out really soon with this full moon in Aquarius energy, because everything's being brought to light. I think Merrick Garland, for one, is, I see piles, I see mountains and mountains of papers. It's almost like he's drowning in mountains of papers, Merrick Garland is. So I do have a lot of questions here, which is good. And I just want to get to them. Hang on, I dropped something. I'm always dropping things. Okay, so if you're watching this, whoever asked the question about Europe, will Europe keep working with the USA in the face of threats from Russia and China? I think I kind of got the gist of that question. Yes, I got yes. Oh, I think this is about England, right? Yes. I see a stronger alliance with Europe. I mentioned after that summit, was it a month ago when Joe Biden, gosh, time's flying, when he went to that summit in Europe, how relieved the European leaders were, our allies. Almost like, oh my God, it's a miracle. Almost like that. Almost like, oh my God, it's a miracle. He thinks, he speaks, he knows what he's talking about. He has experience. This is the European, our allies in that last summit, G7 summit. So yeah, I don't see any problems with, like England or the UK or any of Europe being left out in the cold when it comes to Russia and China and the threats from Russia and China. Karma, is coming back to the countries that have suppressed their people and suppressed their right to live. So I'm pulling 3 cards about that. The Fool indicates that in terms of the U.S. relationship with Europe and whether it will strengthen Europe's position against Russia and China threats. The Fool is they really got to get people. We'll just talk about the UK. Yeah, see, Boris Johnson concerns me. They need stronger leadership. So let me just ask the guides. Whenever the next leader of the UK comes, Prime Minister, it will change then. Right now, he's kind of a dork. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just giving my opinion. Boris is a little nuts. And I feel like things will improve after there's this period of like folly in Europe. But I do see the alliance with the United States making it much stronger, putting it in a much stronger position. The Four of Pentacles. There are some leaders in Europe that are like, I see Angela Merkel. I see other countries in Europe besides the UK forming strong alliances with the United States too. So all in all, Europe is going to be fine. The King of Wands, I'm seeing a new leader in the UK. And I got to look up my books, my political books. Like, I don't really have that many, but I will Google when England gets a new prime minister. It's kind of a complex question. Anyway, next thing on the list, Kristi Noem, I think that's how you say her name, the governor of South Dakota. What's going to happen with her? Well, when I tuned into that, I see she's a criminal. I see her as a criminal. I see her really heavily influenced by the dark side, the governor of South Dakota. When I think of her, I think about in South Dakota, they had this big biker convention. So many people went there in the middle of the pandemic when we had no vaccines in South Dakota. And then we had a huge surge. Yeah, that's called working for the dark side. And speaking of the darkness, when he who shall not be named, 45, on the 4th of July was in South Dakota, and I don't think in his whole presidency or illegitimate presidency, I don't think I was ever as scared as I was as when he was in South Dakota on the 4th of July with the backdrop. It just looked totally eerie. It was all black with flags waving and the Mount Rushmore in the background, and it was just creepy. That's the energy I was reading that whole time last year, the 3rd and 4th of July. Whew, whew, whew. I shudder to think about it. We were so close to fascism. And she is part of it. And I see money, this channel's for entertainment purposes only. I see money with the governor of South Dakota between her and 45, having crossed hands, almost like he was trying to get her, or I don't know. There was some kind of an agreement that she was going to help to hide the immense danger of the pandemic. I tell people sometimes, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's just the information that I'm getting. Like, in other words, I can't back this up with real data, but my psychic impression is saying that. Oh, interesting. She's trying to pull some tricks. I see the magician card. She is trying, the governor of South Dakota right now is trying to get things hidden. I see her hiding, trying to hide things. So, yeah, she's trying to pull some tricks. And try. She's all into her beauty. She's beautiful. She looks like a model, but the you know, who she is speaks so loudly, I cannot see her. You know, like, it's just, who cares if she looks like a model? She's really trying to look like this innocent princess right now, but justice is coming for her. Stay tuned. That's South Dakota, Kristi Noem. That woman scares me in terms of like don't mess with her in a chick kind of way. Like, she would stab her girlfriends in the back. I don't mean literally, but I mean, you know, like, with mean girl. She's a mean girl. It's bad. It's bad. Can't relate to that stuff. Let's see. Boris Johnson. Ooh, I think I might have just answered this. Oh, that makes it. I forgot I wrote this down. Somebody had a question about whether Boris was in cahoots with the Russians. I think I just said that, didn't I? That's why they're not in a good position right now. I got so excited, my throat got a tickle. Anyway, it's a hot day in Massachusetts today. It's I should be at the beach, but I'm gonna go later. Yeah, I think I already answered that. I inadvertently went into that area about Europe keeping on working with the USA. I don't know who Dominic Cummings is. I don't know who that is, but yeah, there's definitely dark money going on. And Boris is in the same category as 45. That's interesting. In terms of taking favors from Putin. Entertainment purposes only. Not based in fact, just based in psychic impression. I think I'm okay. In terms of staying within the guidelines. Okay, so there's that. COVID in 2022 and 2023, this person mentioned that I had said it's not going to be over till 2024. You know, when things were going okay, I thought, well, maybe I got that wrong. When things seems to be going swimmingly, everyone getting vaccinated. Before the Delta variant came, when India got hit, I said very specifically, it's on YouTube on Bridge Cape Ann. I don't remember which one it was. I specifically said what's happening in India before it came out in the news, was a different variant, which is why they got hit so hard. So things were going okay, and then the Delta variant came. It hit India. I think it hit Italy pretty hard. It hit some countries really, really, really hard. South America really hard. So I have to stick by what the guides told me initially. They said a million Americans dead, and it wouldn't be over till 2024. So let's take a look at that. Somebody wanted to know what to expect in 2022 and 2023, and also wanted to know if the vaccine protects against Delta. you know, when we mention COVID, we have to be careful because we're on YouTube. So my opinion is, and I had said this before the breakthrough cases started to happen, that we'd have a lot of breakthrough cases. If you have been vaccinated, if you're fully vaccinated, you'll get probably, if you get a breakthrough case, it won't be severe. You know, I'm just talking in general terms. It's better, obviously, than not having a vaccine. In 2022 and 2023, I had said the other day that I feel like this is the doozy. The Delta is the doozy. Delta is the one, from what I can see, that's going to have the highest rate of transmission and most dangerous because of that. Okay, yeah, so interesting. This is what I get, the Eight of Swords. There's a lot of suffering coming. I do see more lockdowns. And I had mentioned that I see schools closing, not all of them, but I definitely see a lot of school closures, lockdowns. The Eight of Swords, we have a lot of loss ahead of us. I always thought that it was too soon to just open up full everything 100%. I think it was Ron DeSantis is opening up everything 100%, no restrictions, just throw the doors open wide and let everybody get sick. And I know Provincetown isn't very happy right now because here in Massachusetts we have a very high vaccination rate. And so it's people in general that are coming from out of town that are causing those numbers to spike. And they're not happy. So the Seven of Swords is it will be on the way out. The guides are showing me another vaccine to address future variants. Yeah, this one vaccine, this Moderna, Pfizer, J&J. I see different kinds of vaccines being developed. It concerns me that they're gonna be boosters. There's gonna be more and more shots. It's like trying to hit it from every angle. It's a very, very smart virus. I know viruses don't have an intelligence. It's a very smart virus, though. Seven of Swords makes me think 7 variants, and I had been saying 5 or 6. I see a 7th one. Now, don't everybody freak out. These are based on my psychic impressions, which are usually right. But anyway, I do see the world. So this is a way that the world is going to come together with a common mission and a common goal. It's going to be gradual. It's going to be necessary. So, you know, from a more like divine perspective, I guess if you look at it in this way, we don't know why these horrible, horrible things have to happen. I'm just seeing one of the side effects is the world comes together in a brand new way, and the World Health Organization is going to be very, very, very much stronger than it has been. I'm telling you, we're just, you know, everything's getting rocked and rolled right now. There's no way around it. We just have to figure out what to do. The wildfires in the West really mega concern me. I'm very, very concerned about that. I'm concerned about where I live, where brazen overdevelopment is happening. I've stood up against it. I'm an activist. Please, everybody, be activists. Call that number, just in terms of being an activist. I'll give it to you next time again. Call the number about voter rights. It's time to feel empowered. We definitely have to step up, do what needs to be done, because we can't go on like this. It's not survivable. And even if you're on the East Coast and the wildfires are on the West Coast, guess what? It's affecting the air quality here. So the world card means that we're gonna all wake up on a global level to, if we don't work hand in hand, we're doomed. All right, I don't want to go all gloomy on you, but I'm just saying. I wanted to talk about, somebody asked if New York is going to get shut down. I do see that. I see in the fall. I'm seeing November being a really rough month for New York. I'm seeing Cuomo being distraught. Andrew Cuomo being distraught. Oh, he doesn't want to do a lockdown. I see lots of bickering and lots of fights around now. Do we lock down? Do we not lock down? It's going to be kind of every man and woman for themselves a little bit, because we're going to actually have to take matters into our own hands and decide, do we want to be safe or do we want to be sorry? Leadership is going to have a really tough time fighting with the negative effects on the economy. It's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You know, if you go to a lockdown, then things get a little less, the numbers go lower. If you keep the economy open, the economy does okay, but then the numbers go up. It's chaos. It's total chaos. Companies that are private. Okay, so I want to just tell you, some people have been asking me, what about these vaccine mandates? Personally, if I worked in healthcare, if I worked in a hospital, if I worked with the elderly, I would have been one of the first people in line to get a vaccine. I am serious. I mean, if you're working in that close proximity with people that are high risk, I won't get into my judgmental thing. You have to get a vaccine if you're working with people that could get it and die. There are different circumstances, you know, for different people, but that's definitely, I do see healthcare worker mandates for the vaccine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, here's the deal. The government will not mandate it, because that's not government's role. The government's role is to make it as widely available as possible and to highly suggest, you know, and I see it's being done through kind of shaming too. However, private companies can do whatever they want. So if a private company wants, even a restaurant, you know, it's a private company, if they want to have a mask mandate or a vaccination needed to enter, that's their prerogative and perfectly within their rights to do so. So people are going to have to learn how to work around that. If you're in healthcare and you don't want to be vaccinated, I'm just saying what I see. You will lose your job. That's what I see. And I'll pick some cards about it. This is my psychic impression. It's not my opinion. Just telling you how it is. My opinion was that if I worked in healthcare, I'd be first in line for vaccine. Yeah, this is going to lead to a lot of cases that the working with the public without being vaccinated is going to lead to huge heartbreak. You know, I'm sad to say that people are going to be really sorry that they didn't think of others. And maybe that's part of the wake-up call. I don't know. It's going to be a balancing act. But people will learn. I see a lot of people that followed 45s, you know, it's a Democratic hoax, it's a hoax, it's a hoax. You know, I'm reading the book, Audible, listening to the book, Only I Can Fix It. And I told you the other night, you got to get that book. It's amazing. It's amazing to realize in a pandemic how he was only interested in how it was going to affect the re-election, which kind of goes to show you how many crimes he's committed, because he knew the only way to have a chance of getting out of all the crimes and indictments, possible prison, was to be president again. That man lives in so much fear. Don't be fooled by the Leo. He's got a lot of Leo in his chart. He's a Gemini. 45, I mean. Okay, so it will be, you know, people, why did I mention him? Because people that followed him will start to have empathy and compassion, because they're going to see their friends around them, including others who supported him in the last election and are doing the whole Stop the Steal thing. They're going to see their other friends get sick too. It'll be a balancing act. And I see, can I just say, I see Fox News going down. I'm serious. The Hangman is, we have to let this kind of run its course. We don't know. Karma, you know, we don't understand the big picture. Not even people that are all spiritual, and, you know, we don't understand the big picture. But I also do see the fallout from this is that people are going to have to start to believe facts and truth. They have to. They have to. Okay, I think that was all the questions, but I do want to ask a couple other things that I'm sure you're wondering about. I said the other night, on Friday night, I said Adam Kinzinger is in. And then I heard, I think it was like the next day, that Adam Kinzinger is in on the January 6th commission. I think that's it. I don't know if Pelosi had plans to put other people on the commission that are Republicans. Let's look at that. Because I don't see anybody else. I think that's going to be it, actually, with Republicans on the commission. So anyway, rather than ask that, I want to ask how McCarthy's doing. He's, when I tune into him, I just get, he's really thinking about high school, about people, guys in high school that were just kind of dopey. So we're going to ask about what's going on with him right now. He can't figure it out. The guys are saying he just can't figure it out. Figure what out? He can't figure out how to win this. That's interesting. There's that magician again that's showing up again. That's interesting because it was connected to Christy in North Dakota earlier. This is Christy Nome. Very similar to that. Trying to figure out what tricks they can pull to get out of. I told you the other day I saw video surveillance in my psychic vision of McCarthy in the insurrection for a few minutes. And I just read, and I told you the other day there were 7 Republicans that were part of it. Like they were part of the team in the insurrection. I definitely saw that. I think I was just on Facebook where I saw a list of names. I'm like, well, there you go. They actually were in cahoots. They thought it would work. How horrifying is that? Oh my goodness. And Mitch McConnell is, wow, this is weird because I was asking about McCarthy. This is interesting. I was asking about McCarthy and now I'm picking up on Mitch McConnell. And this is actually what I'm getting about that. Mitch McConnell telling Kevin McCarthy to take it down a few notches. That's what I'm picking up here. It's almost like don't point to the crime too much because they'll know more. It's really weird. It's really weird. Lining it up. I see McCarthy. I think I had said this about McCarthy before. I saw him like shut down, muzzled almost, and that's I feel him reining it in terms of the things that he will say, because it's been too incriminating the way he's behaved and things that he said. So he's trying to minimalize some of the things that he's done. McCarthy, I'm talking about. So he's kind of trying to line it up. Sorry, a little glare today. Line it up so that it's a little more believable, but it's not. But he's trying to make it a little more believable. And yeah, so that's interesting. These 3 cards. I feel like McConnell meeting with McCarthy. I feel him telling him bring it down a few notches. And McCarthy's trying to be a little more subdued because he's being counseled that might work better. Jim Jordan. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm just bringing up Jim Jordan, but I think that Jim Jordan is so like, wah! He's so like crazy that Kevin McCarthy is actually keeping a low profile a little bit around Jim Jordan. Oh my gosh, it's bad. All right, it's almost 30 minutes. Is there something else? Anyway, that commission, those hearings start tomorrow. So I'm just going to pick 3 cards about that before I let you go. I don't want to make my video too long because I know you have things to do. But while I'm thinking about it, if you would like to book a psychic reading, I think I've mentioned I've been doing readings for over 25 years. Yes, I started when I was 10. Just kidding. Please email me, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, and we'll set it up. I have time this week. Okay, so we're going to pick 3 cards just to give us a little insight on the commission. I got this before about Kevin McCarthy. I think it was in a former reading. Hiding. He's trying to keep a low profile. Adam Kinzinger is. I see him just sort of taking a reserved approach to the commission and sort of just absorbing all the info, like a lawyer would. I don't know if Adam Kinzinger was a lawyer, but I feel like he's going to just be in that absorbing all the info phase. He has a lot of information already, and he and Liz Cheney as a team. I guess Pelosi doesn't need another Republican on the commission. That would make sense. Smart people, I'm telling you, the smart people will win. Everybody stop worrying, the smart people will win. The thing we need to do is stop the voter suppression bills. Okay? Promise? Get out there, do something. It feels better to do something than not. Take it from me. Always feels better to do something, even if you're given $20 to Act Blue or Kinzinger's organization, Country First. It's not a country music organization. Country First. Give where you can. Stacey Abrams, go to her website. You know, if there's a rally to protect our democracy, join it. I'll keep you posted on things that are coming up as I see them. The 10 of Cups. It's going to be a very sad time for our country in terms of finding out what really happened. Finding out that the guy that occupied the White House is an out-and-out traitor. That's tough. It's a tough reality to face with the 2 of Wands. Things are going to come into balance. And there's a good balance on that commission, even though McCarthy's going to try to keep saying, it's biased, it's biased, it's biased, it's partisan. People know. Americans aren't stupid. All right. The other thing I want to mention is I do have a church online on Facebook Live every Sunday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Church of Spirituality. Go to Annette Dion on Facebook if you'd like to watch my church service. I think you'd find it interesting. And AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you'd like to book a reading. Please share if this video was helpful. Namaste.